Hello, good morning. Actually, it's again good afternoon na pala, sorry. So let's continue our lesson, students. So, when we talk about the origin of life, today we're going to talk about the theories of the origin of life. Okay, so we have two theories that actually were the basis before of what is life, where did life came from. So we have the spontaneous generation and the other one is biogenesis. So the first one is the Greek philosopher student, si Aristotle, is one of the earliest recorded scholar to articulate. He says that life came from or arises from non-living matter. So he actually believed that spontaneous generation na bigla-bigla na lang buhay na on a certain area nagkakaroon na kaagad ng buhay. Siguro possible. May nakikita silang mga dumi, no? Tapos bigla-bigla may mga daga-daga na, no? Or kaya bigla-bigla na lang may magot. O bigla-bigla na lang may langaw. Okay? So, hindi mo naman sila masisisi because very observant yung mga people natin before, such as Aristotle. The other one is actually the one that opposed abiogenesis. No, yung spontaneous generation or what we call abiogenesis is opposed by a biogenesis. It is believed, it is the belief that life originates from pre-existing life. So it means that there is life, then in order to have another life, okay, uh, it pre-existing life should exist first, no? Kaya nga siya pre-existing, okay, in order to support another life, no? It was proposed by Oparin, kay Miller at Urey, and the other one is proposed by Swan, kay Schleiden and Rudolf Virchow. Okay, so again, abiogenesis states that life on Earth is originated from non-living compounds, and the other one is originated from pre-existing living forms. The other one is not scientifically scientifically proven, and the other one is scientific. There are a lot of scientific experiments that actually were the basis why we need to support the biogenesis. So yung isa kasi is based on observation, rational thoughts, and the other one is practical and experiments, and of course, practical experiments and material evidence. So what are the experiments that were actually used in order to prove that biogenesis exists? Okay, I mean, true. So we have Francesco Reda here, we have Needham, we have Espallanzani. So what are those experiments, no? So the first one, students, he Needham, he believed the spontaneous generation, okay, and brought from a life force. Okay, microbes arose spontaneously and brought from a life force. So sabi niya, naniniwala siya that when broth is heated in uh, how do you say this one? Tamang temperatura, sabi nila. He conducted an experiment, no? Heated infusion yung broth, yung nutrient broth, no? Tamang temperatura, pwede magkaroon ng tawag dito, ng life, no? Again, he conducted an experiment using nutrient broth, thought that the heat has already killed that animal fuse and it before container were tightly sealed and stored. Okay, so ginawa niya students, naniniwala kasi siya nung ginawa, hinit niya na kasi, no? After a few days, iniwan niya pa rin, he observed that infusion using the microscope, there are animal fuels or tinatawag natin mga microbes. So iniwala siya na yung mga microorganisms na yon, it came from the decomposing components of the nutrient broth or ng infusion and not from pre-existing one. Okay, kaya naniwala siya kasi nga, of course, siyempre pinakuluan niya naman, di ba? Ay, yun naman. How do you say this one? Ay, yeah, pinakuluan niya, ininit niya kasi may pakulo pala dito. Init niya, no? Pinakuluan niya, pinalamig niya, tapos still nagkaroon ng microbes, no? May microbial growth. Okay? Kaya lang, no, the problem is, sabi ni, yan yung kay Ned Hams. Sabi ni Spallanzini naman, he proved that sufficient heating yung kailangan. Kasi may mga bacteria kasi o mga microbe na may heat resistant. So hindi ka agad sila namamatay. So pwedeng patagalin mo yung heating mo na yun. Okay? And then the broth of heating, no, yung sufficient heating ng broth, it will kill the microbes or ng mga animal kills na yon. So nothing will survive in it if it was sealed after a long time. So through this student, it has been established that all forms of life come from the existing one. So he opposed or he disproved those claim of Nedham. Okay? Say dito, si Isbalyandini. Okay, so ganun students, no, laging always connected sa high temperature kasi it's possible. Of course, it is possible na hindi na mabuhay because of the right condition, no? Yung right, sobrang init pala, hindi right condition. Sobrang init. Okay? So in that way daw, sabi niya, pwede, kapag na-sealed mo palalo, pwedeng walang growth na mangyari. Unlike on this one. At saka hindi yan sealed. No? Hindi yan sealed. Pinalamig mo, at open lang. Wait, then microbial growth still happen. Ito naman, pinakuluan niya, siniled niya, then no growth. Walang nangyari. No? So, next one, students, no? Again, this one, si Reddy, tinawag natin na, si Francisco Reddy, tinawag na modern parasitology. He challenged this spontaneous generation through this, ano, through this process. Kasi syempre, no one experiments can explain all. Diba? You should have more experiment in order to support one. So he still opposed the spontaneous generation. He challenged this. So what we did, students, is we have this one, the experiment, no, he uses three containers. The other one is open, of course. Merong containers and not only containers, no. Of course, may meat din naman. Okay? And the other one is pork sealed container. Or yung isa naman is gauze covered container or cheesecloth yung pwede rin yung gamitin. So the other one, formation of maggots and meat, kasi open. No? The other one is no formation of maggots and meat. And the other one is no formation of maggots and meat. So his experimental setup disproving generation using maggots that arouse in decaying meat. Sabi dito, one is open, the other one is covered with cloth, and the last one was sealed. No, yung nasa gitna is sealed. So days later, students, the open jar contained maggots on the meat, whereas the covered jar contained no maggots inside. He did not note the maggots were found on the exterior surface of the cloth that covered the jar. So in that way, student, he demonstrated that maggots were actually the offspring of flies. No? Kasi wala naman nabuo dito, wala naman nag-arouse dito. Okay? Nangyari yung maggots dito na. Okay? It's not the product of spontaneous generation. Okay? Again, another experiment that proved that it is true. I mean, the biogenesis is true. Kaya lang, hindi pa rin natapos, students, no? Hindi pa rin yun natapos. Okay? Ayan, dito muna tayo. I-ano muna natin, summarize natin ng konti dun. Let's go tayo dun sa part na hindi pa rin siya natapos yung area. Okay. Jenny Tham argued that microbes arose spontaneously in broth from life force, while Zani, whose experiments with broth aimed to disprove those Needham, and the other one, Francisco Reddy, demonstrated that maggots were the offspring of flies, not the product of spontaneous generation. Okay? So, tandaan students sa pagkakaiba-iba nila ha. The Needham is spontaneous generation. These two actually is, these two, you know, actually support the biogenesis, I mean. Okay? So, they both uh, disprove Needham uh, experiment. Okay? Pero, Yung isa kasi magkaiba sila rin. Yung isa broth yung ginamit. Yung isa naman is meat mismo. Okay? And then, napatunayan, it's not the product of spontaneous generation, yung mga maggots. The other one naman, no, kapag sealed, of course, hindi siya magkakaroon ng maggots. Okay, so again, tandaan hindi pa rin natapos yung debate when it comes to the spontaneous and the abiogenesis and the biogenesis. So the other one students, no, another para maubos na daw to matapos na yung away pero no, away. Well, sige, away na lang gamitin natin. The debate between those scientists, no, si Louis Pasteur naman is the father of microbiology. Again, when you say microbiology, it's the study of the microbes, microorganisms. Okay, so he is best known in the process of pasteurization. So, kaya saan natin nakikita yung mga pasteurizations in the world? Uh, pwedeng sa ospital lang ba? No. Kasi may sterilization, hindi rin students. Sa food, no, nakikita natin siya sa food. Nakikita natin yung pasteurization sa mga canned goods. Pwede. Saan pa ba? As long as there is temperature na involved, possible, or basta may mababasa kayong pasteurization, ibig sabihin, it prevents or kill the microbes in the beer, milk, and other goods. So by sterilizing the cultures and keeping them isolated, hindi open, syempre, in-sterilize mo tapos inopen mo rin. Then, no contamination will occur. But if you're going to open it, no, of course, there will be uh, contamination. So in other words, students, life does not arise spontaneously. Paano niya ba ginawa yon? No, ang tawag dito is Pasteur and his one neck flask. Okay? So, ito yung ginawa niya, no? Pasteur experiment. Yung isa, no, pinakuluan niya, both pinakuluan niya yan. So, there is curved flask prevents outside air from I mean, the flask. No, kasi hanggang dito lang yung air, hindi na pumasok dito. Therefore, no contamination occurred. Okay? But then he decided to break this one. No, he decided to break this. Okay, when he break this, no, when the neck flask is broken off, bacteria reach the sterile broth. Then the organism, of course, grow here. Then, so, yun yung nangyari. Okay, so Pasteur is actually a very good scientist. No, without him, students, of course, we will not have this kind of process. Pero I think may makaka-discover din naman ng process na yan. Okay, so okay, next. Yan. Pasteur sets experiments irrefutably disprove the theory of spontaneous generation. And very important person, no, nanalo siya ng Alhumbert Prize from Paris Academy of Sciences in 1862. Okay, and he said, no, omni vivum ex vivu. It means that life only comes from life. Okay, so nandiyan na students, no? At least natapos niya yung away ng mga scientists. Okay, yung debate, no? So biogenesis is true, abiogenesis is not. Okay, so si Kitcher naman, no, he observed that maggots and other organisms emerge from decaying bodies. So, isa to sa mga nasimula no? Na, okay, ba't yan? Bakit kaya may maggots doon sa mga namamatay na animals? Si Swammerdam naman, he, he noticed, no, yung oval shape ng red blood cells, uh, and the embryo consists of the globular particles, mga kabilog. Kay Robert Hooke naman, no? Si Robert Brooke, or Rock tuloy Hooke, is the father of cytology. He described the microscopic compartments, no? In the pieces of the cork. So, yung siguro umiinom siya ng alak ng time na yun. Tapos, alam niyo yun, yung parang sealed ng alak, yung cork yung tawag doon. So, he sliced it, no, students, and he used he's a microscope. Very, very, ano to eh, very, how do you say this one? Magaling. Okay, very curious tong si Robert Hooke kung ano ba yung meron doon. No? So he uses his microscope. Yung microscope is actually a very important instrument to different scientists in that day, no? Kasi they allow to to see a lot of a lot of small organisms or even parts of the organism, their structure, no? Uh, it allows, sorry, may lamok. It allows other scientists to study them using the microscope. Kumbaga sila yung iPad, no? Yung mga panahon na yon. Kasi kapag syempre kapag may ganyan ka, no? Very curious, siguro mahirap gawin and so on. Kaya napakasikat ng microscope before. So when he sliced the piece of pork, no, students, he called them cells, no? Yung para daw kasi yung mga honeycomb, no? Kung titingnan niyo yung honeycomb, students, para siyang may mga compartment, no? Now ang he called these cells from a Latin word celia, which means small room, no? Yun, makikita niyo. Parang mga cell. Di ba kapag sa kulungan may cell? Ganun. O kaya, kapag sa apartment pa na maliliit, no? Cell tawag. So, he thought that, he was reminded that, parang cell to, yung ganong idea. So, what he actually saw were the boundaries of the plant cell called the cell wall. So, most notable publication was Micrographia in 1665. In experiments using the cork or oak tree, he was able to coin the term cell. No, is one of the first creators of microscope. He invented a compound microscope with light illuminator. So very important si Robert Hooke. No, kaya lang yung inaral niya na yan, nung time na yun, yung inaral ni Robert Hooke is wala nang buhay. No, wala nang buhay yung court na yun kasi syempre dry na yun. So usually compartment na yung nakikita niya. Okay. So, si Anton Van, si Felix, or Anthony, or Anton. Anton lang usually naririnig ko when I was in college. Eh. Felix van Leeuwenhoek or Anton van Leeuwenhoek is the father of microscopy naman, students. In 1668, at some time before 1668, si Leeuwenhoek learned to grind lenses. Okay, and he used this to make very simple handheld microscope. So, these microscopes were not compound microscope made of two more lenses, but refined magnifying made with finely ground lenses. No? Very magaling to kasi tawag dito, very na naman ako. Magaling. Ba yan? Okay? So, mas advanced ng konti yung kanya. No? 300 something na yung magnifying niya. No? He made a single lens microscope which he made to make the first observation of bacteria. Kung si Hook kanina is he did saw cells. Kaya lang dry na, ibig sabihin patay na yung mga cells na yun. Ito naman is gumagalaw-galaw pa. Okay, his extensive research on the growth of small animals such as fleas, mussels, and eels helped disprove the theory of generation of spontaneous generation of life. Okay, he made the first observation of the bacteria and protozoa because of his finely ground lenses. Galing ni galing ni Lewin Hook. Okay, si Robert Brown naman, no, he discovered the nucleus. Okay, ano ba yung naging role nito sa cell theory, no? ano ba yung nucleus natin? Okay. So which states that all organisms living are composed of cells and cells from pre-existing life. Brown's discovery helped to confirm the second half of the cell theory. So another person, no, si Matthias Jacobs Leiden, he proposed that all structural features of plants have cells. Okay, kanina, si Leeuwenhoek, no, siya yun sa may bacteria banda. Okay. Si Strider naman sobrang hilig niya na kasi sa botany, no? Scientist siya, pero sa ano siya sa plants. Okay, he proposed naman that plants have cells. Uh, uh, proposed that all structural features of plants have cells. Si Theodore Swarm naman, another scientist, he stated that all tissues are also made up of cells. Their claims lead to the formulation of the cell theory. So the cell theory, marami kasing ano yan, yung isa is sabi niya mamaya i-discuss pala natin. So tuloy muna natin to. The cell theory was first given by Leiden and Swan in 1839. It states that all living beings, whether plants or animals, are composed of pre-existing cells. So it means, students, one of the tenets or postulate, no cell theory is that all living organisms are composed of cells that came from pre-existing cells. So the first tenet, students, is ano nga yun? Sorry. The first tenets of the cell theory is basic unit of life. Cells is the basic unit of life. Okay. Ay, wait lang. States that all ano ko nga muna sandali para mas makita natin. Ayan, sorry. Ayan. So para mas makita natin. Ayan. So ito yung cell theory. Ayan. So yung dalawa pa lang dyan yung napunta sa kanila. Kay Slyden at kay Swan. Kay si Robert Bracona, yung nagsabi ng huli, no? All organisms are made up of cell. All existing cells are produced by other living cells or pre-existing cells. The cell is the most basic unit of life. Okay, so yan. One flaw of Slyden is proposal is the formation of nucleus from intracellular called the cytoblast. O ano ba sinasuggest nito? This suggests that the cell starts from not from non-cellular material but substance inside it. So This was refuted by Remak, kay Virchow, kay Kölliker, who conducted experiments that verify the concept that cell come from pre-existing cells. Okay, so ang huli ng students, ang huli nag-propose students ng tawag dito, ng cell theory is si Rudolf Virchow. Okay, he proposed the idea that disease, ay, sorry, sana yung part na yun? Sana yung pinropose niya? Wait, ayan, inayos ko na. Para mas merong kayong idea, tsaka ma-review na rin. So, wag mo na, bakit yun? Ayan, so, yan, ang huling nag-propose students na self-theory is si Rodolph Virchow. No, ito yung kanyang idea. So again, he's the father of modern pathology. Bakit? So he proposed the idea that diseases results from changes in normal cells. No, kasi syempre pag nagbago yung normal cells and tissues, it's possible, magkaroon ng diseases such as mga cancer. Pero ayun, background of study kay Mr. Virchow, no, yan yung kanyang idea. Pero aside from that, is one of the proponent of the cell theory. Again, si Sliden, he is a botanist, no? And therefore, he studied plant tissues. He proposed that cells are the basic building blocks of plant. Okay. Again, ay next is si Theodor Schwamm naman, a German zoologist, Swan, he extended the observation of Mr. Slyden, no? From animal tissues, he observed that it is the same with the plant, no? So they are also made up of the cells. So this led him to propose that all cells are the basic unit of all organisms. So a German physician naman, si Rudolf Virchow, after nung dalawa, no, yung huli, medyo matagal bago nasundan, a German physician, si Virchow, he added the final piece of the cell theory. He proposed that the concept of biogenesis, which states that all living cells arise from pre-existing cells. So, ibig sabihin, all cells arises from pre-existing cells. So, this idea challenge actually the spontaneous generation. Okay? So, ano saan? Okay. Ayan. Ayan na. Okay. Tapos, nagkaroon ng ibang mga scientists, no? They're discovery in the different organelles and how it works, no? Revolutionized the idea of the cell theory. Naging napakahalaga nito. Si Claude, si Porter, si Foliam, they have discovered the endoplasmic reticulum, Brenda, mitochondria, Golgi, Golgi apparatus ng cell. Fleming naman, he discovered the chromatin and the mitotic cell division. Ito students very important to um, sa idea ng cell division, no? Kapag syempre pag nagse-cell divide, no, kapag nagko-close yung wound natin, mga sugat, nagkakaroon ng mga cell division. So, yung discovery sa chromatin tapos mitotic cell division, yung napakahalaga. Okay, tapos si Waldeyer, he introduced the term of chromosomes and the neuron to medical terminology. Okay, so ito na yon. Pag-aaralan natin to ng maraming marami. So, ayan. Meron pang theories of the origin of life. So, eto siguro, discuss ko na lang to ng person. Okay, that's all muna for today's students. Pero if we don't have time, no, gagawa ulit ako ng video for this. Okay, we'll see you again next meeting, students. I hope na sana nag-gets ninyo yung idea ng self-theory and paano ba sila na buo.